Hello, Sabadi. Welcome to my channel. My name is Nali. Today I want to show you how I make this fried shrimp pork balls. This is a wonderful snack ideas that you could bring to a party or when you have a get together or when you have visitors at your house. Okay, if you're ready, let's get started. Here are the ingredients. You will need 1 tablespoon of the granulated chicken flavor soup base mix, and this is the brand I use. And depending on how much you're making, I'm just using 1 box of the breadcrumbs, Japanese style panko. You're going to need 4 tablespoons of cornstarch, 1 tablespoon of baking powder. This is what's going to give the fluff. 1 tablespoon of Golden Mountain seasoning sauce. If you don't have the seasoning sauce, you could always use a pinch of salt. And I also know there's a lot of different kind of soy sauce you could use too. And half teaspoon of the white pepper powder. Also, if you don't have this, don't worry about it. Just use the black pepper. It's still gonna turn out fine. Half teaspoon of black pepper. And roughly about 1 pound of ground pork. I like using the one with a little bit of fat to it. And half a pound of shrimp. The shrimp that I have is the one from Costco with the head on. If you have the shrimp with the tail on and it's already like deveined and clean, that works the best, but I just happen to have this one, so I'm gonna have to do extra work. 4 cloves of garlic, medium size. And 2 medium to large size eggs. Okay, let's get started with cleaning our shrimp first. Like I said, mine was from Costco, so I have to put in extra work to shell it and devein it and remove the head. So all I do is remove the head and I save the tail right there because that's the tail that we're going to do presentation with when we make the pork shrimp balls. Go ahead, and I'm just deveining my shrimp, just cleaning it out. And like I mentioned earlier, you know, if you have the clean shrimp already that's deveined with the tail on, you could just cut off the tail like that and just save it into a different bowl. So that way when we mold our shrimp pork ball, you could just put it back on and you'll see what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to go ahead and fast forward. It's just me washing and cleaning my shrimp. Okay, now our half pound of shrimp is headless, deveined and clean. And there goes the tail that we were saving for later when we mold the shrimp and pork into a ball. Okay, first thing we're going to do is go ahead and bring out your food processor. In the food processor, put in your 1 pound of ground pork. At this time, you want to go ahead and add in your 4 cloves of garlic. So in the food processor right now, you just have your 4 cloves of garlic and your 1 pound of ground pork. I'm going to go ahead and ground this pork up for a minute. And when you reach 1 minute, you want to give your food processing a rest. So just go ahead and stop your food processing. Give it like a rest for like 10 seconds. And then you want to start it back up because you don't want to overheat your food processor. Okay, that's been running for a whole minute. You see that? I'm not too happy with it yet because I need it to be like a pork paste. So I'm just going to go ahead and repeat the process again for 1 more minute. And I just want to mention that if you don't have pork in hand and you have chicken breast, you could always replace the pork with chicken breast. I've done it many times where I just use chicken breast. And another option is if you don't even like pork or chicken breast, you could just use shrimp, like a whole pound or half of shrimp for this recipe. Okay, now that we got our pork into a paste that I want, see, just like that. So we're going to add in the rest of our ingredients. Add in 4 tablespoons of the cornstarch. And you want to add in your 2 medium-sized eggs. Add your 1 tablespoon of baking powder. Add 1 tablespoon of chicken flavoring. Add in your half a teaspoon of white pepper powder. Add in your half teaspoon of black pepper. Add in your 1 tablespoon of seasoning sauce. or soy sauce. And if you don't have neither of those, you could always use a pinch of salt. Now that we have all the ingredients in the food processor, go ahead and start it up on high and process this for another whole minute. You also want to stop your food processor and scrape out everything from the corner so everything's all like incorporated and then mixed evenly. Okay, after your 1 minute of grinding the pork into a paste, now you want to add in your shrimp. Your shrimp should be the last one you add because you don't want it to be like a pasty shrimp. You still want it to have like a chunk of shrimp in there. That's why I always add my shrimp last. And I don't blend this up for too long. I just grind it up for like a good maybe 30 seconds and that's about it. Okay, now that 30 seconds has passed, so I just want to show you when I'm finished, you could see the chunks of shrimp still. Because you want to be able to still taste the chunk of shrimp. You don't want it to be like a paste. I'm just going to go ahead and put everything from the food processor into a bowl. So that way we could get it ready to assemble it. So I just want to show you again that you want your pork into a paste, but your shrimp into still like a little tiny bits and pieces. So that way you could actually see and taste the shrimp when you're eating it. Okay, let's start rolling this pork and shrimp into a ball. Remember the tail end of the shrimp? Yep, bring that out. And also your breadcrumbs. For the breadcrumbs, just go ahead and pour it into like a small, medium-sized bowl. So that way when we make it into a ball, we'll just dip it in there. So it'll be really easy. And also in a small bowl, add in like a little bit of cooking oil because we're going to rub that into our glove so that way the pork and shrimp ball doesn't stick to our hand. And before we start making our pork shrimp balls, you want to add your choice of cooking oil into that deep pan and turn your stove onto like low to medium but higher medium heat. We're going to let this sit for a little bit because by the time we're done making our shrimp pork ball, our oil would be hot and ready. All right, let's assemble this and get it ready. So that cooking oil, you just want to put it in your glove just a little bit because you don't want that pork sticking in your hands. So grab whatever size you like to make your pork shrimp balls. It could be small, it could be big, and there's the shrimp tail. So you just want to place the shrimp tail in your hand. Get a blob of the shrimp pork ball and just like try to make it as round as you can. Mine is never perfect, but I do try to get it as round as I can. So as you could see, I'm kind of like struggling with it. But yeah, you get the idea. And it's okay. You know what they say, practice makes perfect. In my case, not perfect, but I'll just keep on going. Okay, this looks good to me. So I'm going to go ahead and coat that ball with the panko and make sure I coat every single piece of the pork and shrimp balls. And if you like the video so far, hit like and subscribe for future videos. I really appreciate it. So coat it just like that. Not too bad. See? And you see that tail hanging out? That's going to be so pretty once you fry it up. What I'm going to do is just go ahead and repeat the process just like that. Okay, fast forward. I did a couple more and look at this. We are ready to fry our pork shrimp balls. And guess what? I also made some into like a donut shape. You know what? Do any shape you want, whatever floats your boat. So once our oil is ready, you want to go ahead and put in your pork shrimp balls, tail up. And just make sure you're careful when you're doing this. You don't want the cooking oil splattering everywhere at you. This pork shrimp ball should only take around 6 to 7 minutes to cook. Once my pork shrimp ball was cooked, the circle one, I went ahead and repeat the same process for that donut-like shape one. Yay, finally done. Look at that crispy shrimp pork balls. And you know me, I love this Meploy sweet chili sauce. It really is my go-to dipping sauce for sure. For egg rolls, wonton, everything. But you know, you could always make your mayo sriracha sauce or just dip it in mayo, whatever your preference is. I just like the sweet dipping sauce. Oh, listen to the crispy crunch. If you watch my video this far, I just want to say thank you so much for watching.